Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
Welcome back to Monday, 9:01 on this 26th day of February. It's our daily show, CJ Nasello, anywhere, everywhere you get your podcasts, Roku TV, RiverBender.com. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys had a great weekend. You know, mine was just eventful, I'm telling you, Friday was great, Saturday, and then Sunday I had to spend the afternoon ripping a kitchen sink out of the wall that was rusted in at Grandma's house, but, we got it done. A little jack of all trades action this weekend. But we have a great week of shows. We're talking to so many people, and this morning we have a great conversation lined up for you. We're going to be talking to the Alton Road Rodents Club here in a couple of minutes, and then we're going to be talking to Luis in the 10 o'clock hour, and then Mary Cordes will be joining us from Hayner Library for Beyond the Shelves. So any conversation you want to be a part of today, you can text in and let me know what you want me to ask, 618-759-7469, or if you have any comments, feel free to weigh them in on the text line. But at 9:02, here's what's happening around the Riverbend. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update where you can join myself and over 70,000 people that are truly in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Edwardsville first. The Madison County State's Attorney Tom Hayner did announce on Friday that his office has filed Class X felony drug trafficking charges against a California man who is alleged to have had more than 13,000 grams of cocaine in his possession. On one of the charges is punishable by up to 120 years in prison. Haynes' office has filed a petition seeking forfeiture of the defendant's 2022 BMW X4, along with a petition seeking pretrial detention for the defendant, Richard J. Davis, 58, of San Clemente, California. It's charged with one Class X felony count of a controlled substance trafficking or allegedly using a motor vehicle to bring 900 or more grams of cocaine to Illinois. This sentencing range carries 30 to 120 years in prison. Davis is also charged with one Class X felony count of possession with intent to deliver 900 or more grams of cocaine. This charge punishable by up to 15 to 60 years in prison. The offenses are alleged to have happened on Monday, February the 19th. The forfeiture petition alleges that the cocaine was found to be in Davis's possession after the Illinois State Police pulled over his BMW on Interstate 70 near Pocahontas. The Metropolitan Enforcement Group of Southwestern Illinois, which is the Regional Drug Task Force, assisted ISP in the ensuing investigation. Approximately $1,500 in U.S. currency was also seized from the vehicle. Davis remained in custody Friday afternoon at the time of the posting in Madison County Jail, as the state's attorney's office has filed petition seeking pretrial detention for the defendant. A hearing on the detention petition is set for today. Also in the news out of Bethalto, a man from Bethalto has been charged with stabbing two of his family members in the neck and is facing multiple felony counts of attempted murder and battery, according to court documents. Here's what we know. Austin C. Farrell, 21 years of age of Bethalto, was charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, both Class X felonies, in addition to aggravated domestic battery, a Class 2 felony, and aggravated battery, a Class 3 felony. Each of these charges were filed on February the 15th. According to the petition to deny Farrell's pretrial release, he was identified by multiple witnesses as the person who stabbed his grandmother and cousin in the neck, causing severe lacerations. Farrell was apprehended and reportedly admitted to the stabbing with the intent to kill them. Both victims were stabbed in the neck, one being a juvenile under the age of 13. The non-juvenile victim was additionally stabbed in the face and shoulder, causing severe lacerations to the victim. Farrell's case was presented by the Bethalto Police Department. Court documents indicate he was remanded to be held in jail until his initial appearance in court. Also out of Bethalto Police Department announced on Friday that officers assisted the Department of Children and Family Services on Tuesday, February 20th, with an investigation into a minor child in the 500th block of Mill Street. Bethalto Police Chief Jason Lamb said during this investigation, the parent of the child, identified as Jeremy M. Calvert, 34 years of age, of the 500th block of Mill Street, became physically combative with the officers. Here's a statement. He was arrested on scene and later charged through the Madison County State's Attorney's Office with aggravated battery, resisting a peace officer, and obstructing a peace officer, Chief Lamb said. He continued, Calvert, who is currently on parole for aggravated battery to a police officer, was also being held in the Madison County Jail pending an IDOC revocation warrant. It should be noted that all parties are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Over the weekend, and last week at Wood River City Council, Jason Woody officially resigned from his post as the director of Wood River Parks and Recreation, submitting a letter of resignation which was read aloud at City Council earlier that week. City officials expressed their sadness to see Woody leave the department, but wished him the best of luck in his future endeavors with the village of Roxana. Woody wrote in his letter of resignation that he received an offer from Roxana to be their village administrator, an opportunity he said was too good to decline. Woody has been the director of the department for 15 years, starting in November of 2008. His last official day as director will be Tuesday, March the 5th. Park and Recreation Board member and longtime resident Mike Young spoke highly of Woody's accomplishments as the director. He recalled the recent grand opening of the rec center and said anyone who wasn't in the audience missed out on a great day. Mayor Tom Stallcup said he and the rest of the city officials wish Woody all the best. Here's a statement. You've been just an upstanding guy to work with and a good friend, Stallcup said to Woody. He continued, I appreciate everything you've done for the city throughout the years, and the work you did to open the rec center Saturday was just phenomenal. A recording of the Wood River City Council meeting, including Woody's letter of resignation, along with related comments, are available on RiverBender.com/video. Dalton Brown reporting out of Alton that from a solar project agreement to park improvement funds and more, we have a look ahead of what's on the next agenda for Alton's Committee of the Whole. The Committee of the Whole meets tonight, Monday, with all meetings streamed live on RiverBender.com. Monday's agenda includes a laid-over resolution authorizing a loan agreement for the Solar for All projects at the Public Works facility in the amount of $626,512. According to the resolution itself, the Alton City Council engaged GRP Wegman to pursue a state and federal grant and incentives for the installation and ground-mounted solar energy array at the city's public work facility. When and if awarded the grant, GRP Wegman will, quote, design, develop, and construct the solar array in accordance with the Illinois Solar for All program requirements, end quote. The resolution will also authorize the mayor, comptroller, and treasurer, along with the city clerk, to do the following. Number one, sign a loan agreement to fulfill the compliance requirements of the ILSFA program, pledge the amount, and minimize the financial burden to the city by authorizing the use of the General Reserve Fund savings account for the construction of the solar array, which will be reimbursed by the ILSFA and federal incentives. Committee members will also consider a resolution to apply for Park Commission's funds from Madison County in the form of Park Enhancement Program funds for projects. According to the resolution, the city will use these PEP funds to repay previous PEP loans and fund 2 park improvement projects, including a bandshell pavilion at Killian Park and a new roof on the bathhouse at Gordon Moore Park. Exactly how much funding will be granted to the city is still unclear. If the funding needed to complete one of the projects is greater than the amount of the PEP funds granted, the city has agreed to fund the project's completion from another source. Another resolution would essentially add more property to the Riverbend Enterprise Zone. Previously established in 2014, the Riverbend Enterprise Zone is part of a much larger enterprise zone, which includes Alton, Wood River, Bethalto, East Alton, Hartford, Roxana, and Roxana. In South Roxana, enterprise zones are designated areas which aim to boost economic activity by offering businesses located in or expanding into the zones incentives such as tax breaks and more, according to the Department of Commerce. The committee's next agenda item also includes a resolution authorizing the City of Alton to enter into a ground lease agreement with Dish Wireless LLC. According to the resolution, the city and Dish Wireless LLC plan to enter an agreement for the, quote, operation and construction of a communication facility located at 2100 College Avenue in Alton. There are also numerous other items on the agenda for tonight's Committee of the Whole meeting. All of those are available in its entirety at RiverBender.com/news. And thank you to Dalton Brown for a great preview of tonight. Dalton Brown also reports out of Edwardsville that a man from Edwardsville faces multiple criminal charges after fighting the guests of a party he was asked to leave and allegedly biting one of the victim's legs. He fled the scene when officers arrived, elbowed one officer in the face, then threatened to kill multiple officers at the scene. Nathan Metzger, 25 of Edwardsville, was charged with aggravated battery, threatening a public official, and another charge of battery on Saturday, February the 17th. And here's the statement. Defendant was identified as the suspect who appeared at a party very intoxicated and, upon being asked to leave, fought with party guests. When officers arrived, he attempted to leave the scene despite being lawfully detained. As officers attempted to arrest, he elbowed one of the officers in the face, then threatened to kill multiple officers, end quote. Metzger faces a Class 2 felony for aggravated battery, a Class 3 felony for threatening a public official, and a Class A misdemeanor for the additional battery charge. His case was presented by the Edwardsville Police Department. Court documents do indicate that he was remanded to be held in jail until his initial appearance in court. One final bit of news for you at 9:12. A total of 5 local wrestlers, Alana Hickman of Alton, Taylor Dawson of Collinsville, Nora Swaim and Holly Zugmeyer of Edwardsville, and August Rotman of Highland all finished in the top 6 of the respective weight classes on the second and final day of the IHSA Girls Wrestling State Tournament Saturday at the Grosinger Motor Arenas in Bloomington. Lake Villa Lakes won the team championship with 61 points, with Lockport Township second with 58, and third place was Batavia with 46.5 points, and both Hoffman Estates and Schaumburg tied for fourth with 48 points each. Edwardsville finished 11th with 32 points. Collinsville finished in a multi-team tie for 22nd place with 24 points. And Alton tied for 49th with Lombard-Glenbard East with 17 points each. Highland tied for 65th with 4 other schools with all 11 points apiece, and Roxana scored 2 points. One of the wrestlers who competed on Saturday, Hickman, finished third at the 155-pound division, winning her third-round consolation bracket match over Callie Carr of Darien Hinsdale South by fall at 2:46, then won her consolation semifinal over Valeria Rodriguez of Schaumburg 4-2, and in the third-place bout, Alton's own Hickman defeated Savannah Hamilton of El Paso Gridley 8-2. Congratulations from all of us here at RiverBender.com. At 9:14, let's take a quick look at weather, and while I'm doing that, let's look at downtown Alton. Man, looking nice out there with the sun shining down, but temperatures are going to be a little bit different this week. Let's take a look. Right now, we're sitting at 55 degrees. It feels like 60 today. Sunny to partly cloudy and very warm. Breezy this afternoon, feeling more like May. That's the note from our weather desk. Tonight, breezy this afternoon, otherwise partly cloudy and just mild. Temperatures will reach 80 degrees today. Wow. Drop down to 53 overnight as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, this is where it gets interesting. We're going to be reaching 82 degrees for the high on Tuesday, a 70% chance of thunderstorms. However, overnight is when temperatures will fall to 25 degrees on Tuesday. On Wednesday, a high of 37 degrees, a low of just 19 degrees. On Thursday, a high of 48, a low of 31. And then on Friday, we're creeping back up the warmth ladder there, a high of 57 and a low of 40. So enjoy the 2 days of summer and then get back to reality on Wednesday. Right now, as it sits, it's 9:15. It's 55 degrees, and for time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545, this time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. Before I take a quick break, Alton Little Theater is very excited to present the Alabama Story. This is going to be a fantastic show on evenings of March the 15th, 16th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, along with matinees on March the 17th and March the 24th. This is a can't-miss show that so many people are talking about. It's a relevant story about one town's and one librarian's journey to understand the value of books and civil discourse. The play has national recognition as a must-see piece of theater, and you are invited as Alton Little Theater is rounding out their 90th year in business right here in the 618, and they're continuing. I don't know if you just saw their 91st season of shows. Whew, lots of good ones, and this is another fantastic opportunity to support the best theater institution, the best arts institution in the area, and that's Alton Little Theater, directed by Lee Cox and Gail Drillinger. This is going to be a can't miss, and you can find out more information at altonlittletheater.org. That's altonlittletheater.org, or call the box office at 618-462-3205. That's 618-462-3205, or altonlittletheater.org.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
DJ Mike Heath. This is where I am today. Let me show you how I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Naselli on RiverBender.com.
Yeah, 9:19, and welcome back. You know, my love for Meatloaf, it's a weird one. You know, that one album is just fantastic, right?
Listen to that now. 1,000 times.
Well, with that being said, Dan Brennan and I were talking about the Alton Roadrunners because you guys really do some amazing stuff, especially that great River Road run that just attracts so many people throughout the country to come down and really experience this. How's everything going? Track season started already.
Oh, yeah. We've already been through our first 2 meets, boys and girls, and heading to the second one this weekend.
Dan and I were talking upstairs, Russ, last week, and we were talking about the seasons. And he goes, man, basketball's tough, but once track gets going, I love it because it's nice outside, but it goes pretty quick.
Yeah, but doesn't stop.
So the Alton Roadrunners is a club that really has done so much, Russ. And fill me in right now where it sits. How's everything looking for the club?
Well, we've kind of come on in some hard times. Since the pandemic, we've lost some sponsors. Our numbers for the Great River Road Run has been down some compared to what we had in the past. But the cost of everything has risen tremendously.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of in a bind right now.
And it's one of those opportunities where, if the public's able to, help with some donations and keep things going because, you handed me your calendar of events. What the club does for so many young runners in the area, too, it's just wonderful. Fill me in.
Well, our numbers, we've done a summer running series for kids. This is our 27th annual.
Yep.
So we're basically on our second, possibly third generation of kids running. I've had so many parents tell me last year, I remember running this when I was a kid.
Have you had grandparents yet?
I think we're getting close. We're getting close. So that's what I'm saying. We're close to our third generation. So we've been around a long time and had many, many, many kids go through the series.
And that's incredible. So, how can individual kids get a part of the Roadrunners Club if they're interested and they really want to be a part of something like this? What's the best way?
Well, all of our information is on altonroadrunners.org. Mm-hmm. They can get on there. They can see what we've done in the past, see what's going on in the future. They can get registered straight from that, and they can contact us, and we'll surely send them information to do what they need to do.
Absolutely. And then on top of that, too, the Summer Running Series, take me through that, because we said 27th annual. Is it just at one location? Does it go throughout multiple?
No, we move it around. The first one is at Belk Park in Wood River.
Nice.
That's a nice setting out there with the lake and everything. So we do what we call our family run out there. We do a run for kids 14 and under, and we actually do a 15 and above 2-mile race out there. So we include, that's why we call it family run. Everybody's involved. Mm-hmm. Donuts by the lake, you can't beat that, And so,
right.
So we have a lot of kids look forward to those donuts. I have to hold them back so you get one after you run. Trust me.
Better than breaking your golf club by the lake,
I know, yeah. So that starts it off. Then the second one, we go out to Gordon Moore Park in Alton. That's our famous Pee Wee run. Now we're heading to the 45th annual. I got contacted by Roadrunners Club of America saying that's one of the oldest kids races in the country.
Is it really?
And that's because it's just for kids. That one's 14 and under, and we've been doing that, like I said, 45 years. So I mean that's an amazing run. And then we finish that up with our Dash and Splash, our Dash and Glow run. Used to be the Splash when Wood River had her pool, but now it's gone.
Oh, right.
But we changed it to Dash and Glow in Wood River. We do that at the track.
Wonderful.
So we that's a good series. And any kid that does all three of those, we give them have a little ceremony, nice medal at the end of the series.
Well, and whenever we're talking about participants in this, especially going back to the 45th hit and run, the Pee Wee run.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask: is this something where individuals that maybe don't participate in running all that much, or on
sure,
a team
we get a lot
go?
of first-time runners.
That's what I was wondering.
And I encourage them just to finish. And we're not looking for all-stars. I tell them, hey, if you need to walk some, run some. I do that with high school kids. When they first come out, if they're don't have the experience, that's how I train them. We run 100, walk 100, run 100, walk 100. I do that with little kids, and I explain to all my people to help have high school kids and other great volunteers. Just keep encouraging these kids, and that's all you got to do.
Well, then when their parents say something to them, you go, I didn't see you out there running the 2 miles, Well, and that's what I think's great, because you're giving so many of the opportunity, because running's so beneficial.
Right.
And if anyone's ever done I used to get up every day and run a couple of miles when I was in high school with soccer and all of that, and then the benefit you get out of it, both mentally, physically.
Yeah, it's a lifetime thing. You can do it. Now, I was reading about somebody broke a world age group record in the 100, 105 division in 100 meters, and so
That's incredible.
You can run until you're done. I mean, it is incredible.
Talk about bragging rights, you know?
Yes.
Well, and what I really like too is the fact that there's a way you spread them across the region, because there's so many different pockets of the Riverbend, and you aren't just in one location. You know, you spread them out to make sure that we can really enjoy all the different scenes that we have to offer for our runners.
Yes. Oh, well, the first one we try to get on the grass a little bit. That's cross country. Second one we're on the road with the Pee Wee run, and third one we're on the track. So I try to introduce different types of running too, because it's all different.
Well, and if you don't mind me asking, how did the club get established? What's the origin story of the club?
Alan Tutkin, who just passed away last February, a great guy, was a police officer here in Alton. Just put together the club, co-founded it with another man, and he encouraged people to come out. In fact, he stopped me. I was running one day myself. I was just starting college. I was running, and he pulled me over, and I thought, oh, God, police officer got me. And he brought me into the club, says, hey, why don't you come in and join the club, which I did. But I thought I was going to get...
That's one way to bring him in. You throw the lights on.
I wasn't going that fast. But he stopped me and said, hey, you join the club. So I joined the club. And he was president for 27 years, and I've been president the last 20 years. So we've just... Try to keep it going.
Well, and too, you keep the cost of all of your events so affordable and that's such a big thing, because in the world of, I just went and grocery shopped yesterday. Yes. They need to have a refinance line over at Schnucks now. You know, but I mean, every time I look, you keep everything the same for.
We've
kids.
Kept it down for years. In fact, I don't think we've ever raised it. We just want to encourage kids to come out, and that's what the River Road was so important to us. We made money for that, and that paid for everything that we did throughout the summer.
Well, and that's what I was going to ask you about next, is with the River Road run, I'm sure there's a cost to this one, because you have, porta potties and all these different components to it. And is there a way that is so what you're saying is the first couple of series help fund that big one?
No, the River Road was the one that...
funds everything else. Okay, that's... Sorry about that.
We don't make any money on the summer. In fact, we probably lose money.
Right.
But, that's not... We would just want to get kids out running and throughout the whole region.
Well, and that's what I was wanting to make sure of, because to me, the River Road run, we were talking, you had a lady from Minnesota. Was that it?
Yeah, South Dakota.
South Dakota. I knew it was up north. It runs every year, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Well, and how many families do you experience, too, in that?
Oh, we get them from all over the country. There was one year I looked it up, and we had people from 28 different states come in. So I mean, they come home for Thanksgiving. It's something they've annually done. It's a tradition.
Yeah.
Coach Wigger, Jim Wigger from Alton, started this thing at the beginning, and then it's come on through. How did
it evolve whenever Jim started it? Was it a pretty straight?
I think he started it with just his high school runners.
Nice.
Just to give them an excuse to get out and run, and it just grew from there.
And did you ever have an experience working with Jim at all? Or?
Oh yeah, he's come back and watched a few races, and he was a guest speaker at our Runner of the Year banquet, one of the first years that we did that.
Really cool. Yeah. And I want to talk about your banquet here in a second, but I really want folks to realize that this is really something that when you support it, you're supporting a group that doesn't charge a bunch. It's just to really get kids out, just to say, here's a new experience.
Right.
Get outside, enjoy, and get some exercise, and now you're off that damn cell phone too,
I know. And you're with mom and dad.
Yeah.
And you're doing something together.
And you're creating memories. Because
Right.
I'm sure that all the families that you've come across in 20 plus years, I mean, it just keeps growing year after year, and it becomes, traditions and just little memories for everybody too.
Yeah, oh yeah. And I'll go somewhere and I'll see some little kid and they'll look at me and then they'll realize who it was and they'll run up to me. I'll be in Jerseyville or somewhere where we're up. But it's great. I mean, we have a great time. I have some super volunteers that do this, and they've been doing it for years and years and years. So,
well, how many make up your volunteer list?
There's probably a hardcore of about 10 of us that get out there.
Incredible.
And we've done it so long, we can just go out there and get it done. I don't have to go watch somebody do it. I know they're going to get it done, which makes my life a lot easier.
Right. It's clockwork at this point.
And you got this, and then it all just comes together. We do it, and we clean up and sit down and look at each other and say, hey, we did another one.
We got it accomplished again. At 9:30, we'll take a quick pause here. Our conversation will continue with the Alton Roadrunners Club right after this, in the heart of the 618.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team.
We've got Joey.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior, gear up with Falcommit and elevate your hunting experience. From rugged gear for the seasoned hunter to adorable outfits for the little ones, we've got your whole family covered. Literally, because the best moments are made in the great outdoors. And with Falcommit, you're not just wearing gear, you're wearing the stories of your adventures. Discover the joy of hunting together. Visit Falcommit.com and outfit your family for the next generations of memories.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Get over here, 9:32. Welcome back to this Monday morning, RiverBender.com, Alton Roadrunners Club, Russ Colonna, right here in the studio. You know, getting back to talking with you, the Roadrunners Runner of the Year banquet is really one of the coolest things because, you know, Dan and I, you know, talk about things that you guys have done, and, you know, he mentioned some of the things that, you know, some of the kids that are highlighted and some of just the hard work that's done each and every year, and to recognize them and really have a night, because in a world where, you know, it seems like if you're running, you know, 95 yards on a touchdown return, you get a banquet. But, you know, I always feel like, you know, one of the most hardest working sports is especially cross country, without a shadow of a doubt. And to recognize that's incredible.
Yes, I mean, you know, it's a 3-mile race for those that don't know, and you're not just battling the 3 miles. Some of these courses are insane, uphill, downhill.
The terrain,
and then throw the weather in on top of that. I've run races where it's 28 degrees. I've seen it over 100. So, you know, one of the first kids I had that made a state meet ran in 4 inches of snow up there. And so, I mean, it's an incredible sport. And
are you serious? 4 inches of snow?
4 inches of snow was on the ground when they shot the gun.
That's incredible. Well, and to really to have a night that's for the runners too. And we were talking, it's not just, you know, Alton students, you know, or kids. I mean, take me through your roadmap, because you guys have a really strong
I mean,
following.
we've had kids Carrollton, we've had kids from Missouri, I mean, South, Triad, I mean, Troy, I mean, they come from all over the place. So, I mean, it's fun to see.
Yeah, and well, what I think's incredible too, Russ, is just the fact that the running community's so vibrant. Because you know, in soccer, it's a little bit like the same too, because kids might play in different schools, but play on clubs and come together and do this. But to have an organization like Roadrunners where you can actually have these events that bring everybody together, you don't have to have a prospective runner pay, you know, an absorbent amount of money to run in a specific race. It's just open to everyone, and that's what's huge. I think that's the biggest and most invaluable asset to it, is that.
Yeah, we don't make anything on this summer series. In fact, we're losing money, but we don't mind, because, you know, we're giving it back to the community.
Right.
I mean, that was our goal from the get-go.
Well, and that's what I think is just really cool. Now, do we have a date set in stone for the banquet?
Yes, it's the November 24th at Alton Bluff City Grill.
Oh, that's a good spot.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
They take care of you pretty good.
They got that big room upstairs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and now speaking in terms of how we can keep supporting this, because whenever Alton, I think, is one of the best communities for valuing traditions and really getting behind them, and to make sure that we could provide 10 times more or 25 times more river road runs would be huge. Whether or not it's this year is going to be the last. Not saying that or doom and gloom, but to make sure we can keep doing this each and every year. Because hell, I think every one of us want to see this happen until the cows come home.
Oh yeah.
What can we do? Whether it's donating, supporting, sending messages, what can the public do to help the mission of the Roadrunners?
Well, the cost of everything, like everything now, is just tremendous.
Yeah.
Even like refreshments. Refreshments is probably tripled the cost of what we had before.
Mm-hmm.
You got porta potties, you got awards, you got T-shirts. We pay for the police to come out. We pay for the cones and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Barricades to set out, which is a tremendous cost that we didn't pay before. So, but we lost a couple sponsors that told us due to the pandemic they ran out of funds, which I understand. I get that. But if we can use any kind of help like that to help pay for some of that stuff that comes out.
Absolutely. And so there are ways to sponsor the Great River Road Run and all of that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. You'll get put on a T-shirt. You give me a banner or any kind of sign. I'll fly it at every race that we do to promote you. I'll talk about you. Before we start the race, I always thank everybody, which I would surely do. So, and then you'd be on our website. We have a Facebook page. We have a website, altroadrunners.org.
It's a nice website. I'm on it now, following along.
Yeah, my son does that, Nicholas, and he's tremendous help.
There you go.
So
shout out to Nicholas. That looks great. I mean, it really does.
He does.
Well, and what I think, so you have to pay for the traffic enforcement now?
Yes.
When did that, just being curious, when did that start?
Probably about 6, 7, 8 years ago.
I'll be
and
darned.
when we started, it was like $2,100. This year we paid $5,500 just to use the cones and the barricades.
Oh,
I know.
and
it's going to go up next year. It's been going up every year. So I mean that we didn't pay that in the past. That's $5,500 that went towards summer running kids and our banquet. So
well, and that's why could you offer a cone sponsorship?
Well, we got cones for 5 miles, so we got plenty of room.
Well, and what I'm thinking, I mean, just that cost alone, that 55, that's a make or break number for a lot of events. I mean, that's not easy to come up with.
No.
Especially, to just to put it on, for traffic enforcement. And if we can support you, and I highly encourage it, altonroadrunners.org. But if you go to donate to the Roadrunners, there's a tab right there on your website where you can donate now and really help support all the efforts that you guys do. And now, is there any other ways folks can reach out to you if they have any questions, maybe volunteering too?
Yeah, they can volunteer. I don't turn down any volunteers. I kind of maybe run out field my old friends because I say, hey, can you do this? But I really haven't run anybody off. I call. There's guys from college that still come out and help me.
Whenever they know when Russ is calling, I wonder what he's up to. Better he's wondering how I'm doing today. Hey man, how are you doing? I got a race coming up.
They know, it's a good cause.
Well,
I mean,
and that's what I think makes it special too, because there's folks that do major races and they come in and there's all this shaboozy and it's fun to look at, but to really have it a Riverbend centric race in a really Riverbend centric organization, that's what I get the biggest joy out of, is seeing local folks doing amazing work and doing something that honestly isn't easy to do.
No, people don't realize what goes into a road race. I have people call me all the time, say, hey, I want to do a 5K race money. I said, it's not that easy, trust me.
No.
And doing the river road, one of the things we sometimes have to battle is the weather. Sometimes that weather is colder and
because especially with the time of the year, I mean, that can get very cold.
It can be cold. And if that wind's blowing down there on that river road, it could be nasty.
What's the coldest you've run in?
9 degrees the river road was one time.
No way.
The wind coming off that river.
How do you even get through that?
It was tough.
That's what I was wondering. I mean,
tough.
that's just insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's all about, and this is what I do the show too, is keeping tradition. And I, like I said, I'm not saying doom and gloom into the microphone today, but if we can support this and keep it going for 10, 25, 35 years, multiply that by 50, that's a heck of an accomplishment for us to do.
We have one man, Mike Brazier, who started with Wigger, and he's run all 64.
No way.
This would be 65. So.
Well, and take me through too, because I got to ask you this, and I wanted to last time, and I have a couple of minutes. The rich history of running really in the area, because I don't really know too much about Jim Wigger and all these great guys.
Well, Jim Wigger was just state championships in the 1960s. I mean, he was the man at that time, and there's been some outstanding runners from this area. So there's many state champions and.
Well, and that's what I was wondering, because I know that I have a couple of family members that have done pretty well, but it seems like there really is a rich history in this part of the state when it comes to running.
Running, yeah, and there's some outstanding. There's a girl over at Father McGivney now that has been state champ a couple times, and she's just still a junior. I mean,
well, that's a good problem to have.
She just ran a 2:11 half mile indoors Saturday, which is crazy.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
I don't know what the secret is.
And she's one of those that's been to Run of the Year banquet, I said, somebody take my picture standing next to this girl, So.
Well, and take me through the sights and sounds of that. When you get all the kids in the room really at the end, do they look forward to this banquet?
Oh, yeah. It's everybody's dressed up. We see each other all the time. We're sweaty, dirty.
Right.
You got all your running stuff on. Everybody's dialed up. In fact, it's hard to recognize some of these kids.
Right, that's what I was going to ask.
The girls have the ponytails. They got it all out, and it's a nice event. The parents love it, and the kids, that's their 15 minutes of fame right there. You get to stand in front of everybody. I brag about them, give them a plaque. We have a great chicken dinner there. I mean, it's an awesome event.
I just love this, Russ, because it's just so important. And what I think's really cool is to see the passion that you guys have for this, really, because it takes passion to keep events like this and all the things that go into the summer series and all the meets, but also the November Great River Road Run and the banquet. That's a lot, and you have to really love what you're doing to do it. And I'm such a fan of what you guys do. And with that being said, at 9:41, all you guys have to do, because we're going to be talking to Russ, I hope, as we creep closer and closer towards the summer and getting into these events and promoting the Great River Road Run, because we are getting that $5,500 paid for. That's what, if I have any success today, that's my call to action, because, I mean, that is I didn't realize that when we talked last time when we promoted it. And, I mean, I would have talked about it, and really tried, because that is a huge cost to keep history going, though, because this is a historic event for the area. This is one of the coolest. And I got to ask you, have you seen any, whenever you're watching this Great River Road Run or any of your meets in high school with the kids, what is the most unique pre-run ritual that you've seen?
Well,
because I've seen quite a few.
Yeah. Well, I used to have a kid that would go over and throw up.
That's what I was wondering. Okay.
For every race, and if he didn't go throw up, I said, "You're not ready to go today."
That's what I was asking. Because
I'd look for him. He'd be over there on his hands and knees in the grass, just barking like a dog, and then he'd get up and run, and then he'd throw up after the race. And if I didn't see him do either one, I'd say, "You didn't do it today."
I had to ask you, Russ, because I know of kids that have done that, and I didn't know if that was a common theme or not. But I really encourage you guys, AltonRoadRunnersClub.org, AltonRoadRunnersClub.org, and let's help for the next couple of years, 10 years, 20 years, keep these events going, especially all of the great banquet, because that is such a cool thing to highlight those kids each year.
That is great fun there.
And Russ, is there anything else I'm forgetting about for right now?
No, I appreciate you having me on, talking about it. We always like promoting our kids, and I just would really like to try to get some help to keep this thing going.
Absolutely. And if you guys have any questions, we're going to be doing a write-up on RiverBender.com on this as well, with the calls to action on a printed form, so you can click on the link and go where we need to. Or for right now, the time being, if you want to start helping out the Alton Roadrunners Club, AltonRoadRunnersClub.org. That's AltonRoadRunnersClub.org, and click on the Donate Now tab and help support this great organization for years to come. Russ, we'll talk again soon.
All right, appreciate it. Thank
9:43, a little bit of change. Oh, wait, business time. Before I take a quick break, I do get paid for a living, Russ. I'm not very good at this sometimes. Let me fill you in on Sparks Junk Removal. Denise Sparks, I don't, have you noticed these purple and yellow trash cans popping up?
Yeah, I've seen some.
That's Denise Sparks' trash can. She got about a year ago, Russ, she goes, A lot of people keep saying we need a different option for trash pickup because people were unhappy with the main company around town, and she decided to take on the big guy, and she did it. And for 30 years, she was already the queen of junk. She's helping you clean your clutter out because your neighbor's going to report you to the city, all that fun stuff. Now for weekly trash service, they show up at your door, and when you call Sparks, Get this. When you call Sparks, you get Sparks. There's no call center that you got to get in touch with and hold for 3, and then you got to go to claims. No, Denise Sparks is local. She supports local, and that's why I encourage you to support local at sparksjunkremoval.net. That's sparksjunkremoval.net. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Lennox.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Lennox products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
DJ Mikey. This is where I am today. Let me show you how I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Why must you let
9:49. Well, I just love that song. You know, I feel like so the other day I was sitting at my house and I bought these new lights on Amazon. And you know, and what they do is they stick on the wall and they change color and they go to music. They're little cubes, you know. And so I put them on the wall and they look great. And all of a sudden I'm sitting in my house on a Saturday night, my dog's sitting next to me, and I'm going, what do I do with my life, you know? So what did I do? I started blaring family traditions. I'm sure the neighbors love me right now because I'm sure it was way too loud. But I thought, you know, of all the people wondering what I'm doing on a Saturday night, I'm bumping out family traditions and sitting next to my dog. Hey, oh goodness. On this date in history, 2 national parks were established in the United States 10 years apart. The first one we'll talk about, the Grand Canyon in 1919 and Grand Tetons in 1929, both preserved on this date 10 years apart to become national parks here in the United States of America. Also on this date in history, in 1813, New York patriot Robert Livingston dies. During the War of Independence, Livingston served as Secretary of Foreign Affairs under the Articles of Confederation. In 2007, on this date, in an effort to raise more awareness for environmental issues, the Honda Formula One team unveils its Earth car, a race car emblazoned with a large image of a planet instead of the typical advertising and sponsorship logos. I wonder if they put out all the, gas they were putting in the air when they painted that Earth on it. Let's see. In 1993, on this date in history, one that I'm sure a lot of you remember, a bomb explodes in the parking garage beneath the World Trade Center in New York City. On this date, 6 people died and 1,000 were injured by the powerful blast, which caused the evacuation of thousands of people from the Twin Towers. Also on this date, in 1972, a dam collapsed in West Virginia, flooding a valley and killing over 100 people. Another 4,000 people were left homeless on this date. Coal mining was the chief industry in Logan County, Virginia, in the 1970s. Also on this date in history, Fats Domino was born in New Orleans on this date. And then, one final one for you. In a crucial step towards U.S. entry into World War I, President Woodrow Wilson learns of the so-called Zimmerman telegram, a message from the German Foreign Secretary, Arthur Zimmerman, I do get paid, to the German ambassador to Mexico, proposing a Mexican-German alliance, or maybe even an attack on the United States. That happened on this date in history. Also, in music, the childhood home of former Beatle Paul McCartney sold for just $230,000 US at an auction in Liverpool. It was 150,000 pounds. McCartney moved into the house in Western Avenue, Specky, aged 4, with his parents. I know I pronounced that wrong, and I got folks in England that watch this show. With his parents, Jim and Mary, in 1947, and lived in the 3-bedroom house for 6 years. In 2011, it was announced that Queen's We Will Rock You was still the most played song at U.S. sporting events, according to a new survey from BMI at the time, the royalty distribution service. According to its data, based off of the MLB, NFL, and NHL games 2009 to 2010, We Will Rock You was the #1 song overall, as well as for the NFL specifically. Also on this date in history, in 1983, Thriller went to #1 on the U.S. album chart. Thriller broke racial barriers in pop music, enabling Jackson's appearances on MTV and meeting with President Ronald Reagan at the White House. The album was one of the first to use music videos as successful promotional tools, and the videos for the song Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It all received regular rotation on MTV. Thriller became the most successful album of all time with sales over 65 million copies. In 1977, the Eagles went to #1 on the U.S. chart with the New Kid in Town, the group's 3rd U.S. #1, which was also a number 20 hit in the U.K. And Nancy Sinatra in 1966 went to #1 with These Boots Are Made for Walking. The song was written by Lee Hazelwood, was inspired by a line spoken by Frank Sinatra in the comedy western film 4 for Texas in 1963. His quote, "They tell me them boots ain't built for walking. They tell me them boots ain't built for walking." There you go on this date. In 1965, Jimmy Page released a solo single called She Just Satisfies in the UK. Page played all the instruments on the track except for the drums and produced the track itself as well as singing the lead vocals. Perry Como in 1958 went to number 1 on the UK chart with Magic Moments, the second number 1 in a row for writers Burt Barackett and Hal David. It stayed at number 1 for 8 weeks. And in 1955, Billboard reported that for the first time since their introduction in 1949, that 45 RPM singles were outselling the old standard 78s. Born on this date in history? Any good ones? We already talked about Fats Domino. Michael Bolton, American singer and songwriter Michael Bolton, the frontman of the band Blackjack. Early career saw him as a successful songwriter and co-writing hits like How Am I Supposed to Live Without You? Also born on this date in history, Johnny Cash. How about that? A U.S. singer-songwriter Johnny Cash, considered one of the most influential musicians of the 20th century. Although he's remembered as a country icon, his songs spanned other genres, including rock and roll, rockabilly, blues, folk, and gospel. The crossover appeal won Cash the rare honor of the induction in the Country Music Hall of Fame, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and the Gospel Music Hall of Fame. During the late stage of his career, Cash covered songs by several late 20th century rock artists, most notably Hurt by 9 Inch Nails. Cash died of respiratory failures on September the 12th, 2003 at the age of 71, but he was born on this date in history. And that's a look about what's on this date in history and in music. A little interesting, a little boring today, you know. Yeah, you can't win them all. Hey, you'll always be a winner when you list with Lisa Webb. She's the best. You know, I can't say enough great things about Third Street Realty and their commitment to people, their commitment to being human. You know, in the real estate market, I was doing this segment a couple of months ago about the least trusted industries out there, and real estate, cars, lawyers, all in the top 5. But, you know, Lisa Webb time and time again dispels all of those misbeliefs, all of those misconceptions, you know, of really the real estate market, because she does it the right way. She treats you like a person. That's it. Like a person. When I walked through her door, she was honest with me. She said, here's how we can do this. What house are you looking at? Are you sure you want to go through with this? All right, here's the options that we have. And for 2.5 weeks, I was on the wild ride with Lisa, my first time buying a home, and she walked me through every step. I never had to wait on her. I never had to make a phone call and then wait 3 days for my realtor to get back to me. No, right then and there. What do you need, CJ? Hey, here's what I have for you to do for me today. All of that made me feel like a person, not a number, not a commission check, and that's why I encourage you to use Third Street Realty, whether or not you're buying for the first time or you're selling for the 4th, or let's talk real, if you're foreclosing, there's only one person you work with in this town, and that is Lisa Webb. She is the best when it comes to the art of a short sale, and she will work with you and walk through each step every day of the week. And what I like is she's compassionate but still honest, because we need honesty in all of this fun real estate maze. You can also join her on the first and on the third Wednesday of each month with Third on Third with Third Street Realty. And to check out her latest listings and ways you can get in touch, you go to thirdstreetrealty.com. That's thirdstreetrealty.com, and start your journey with Lisa Webb today. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of Third Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. Third Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit thirdstreetrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
DJ Mike Keith. This is where I am today. Let me show you how I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
How do you like me now? How do you like me now? Now that I'm on my way, you still think I'm crazy standing here today. I couldn't make you love me, but I always dreamed about living in your radio. How do you like me now?
Welcome back, 10:03. Top of the hour news on this 26th day of February. It's a Monday in downtown Alton. We'll take you to Bethalto first. Dan Brannon does report this at 10:03. A man from Bethalto has been charged with stabbing two of his family members in the neck and is facing multiple felony counts for attempted murder and battery, according to Madison County court documents. Here's what we know. Austin C. Farrell, 21, of Bethalto, was charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, both Class X felonies, in addition to aggravated domestic battery, a Class 2 felony, and an aggravated battery, a Class 3 felony. Each of the charges filed on February the 15th. According to the petition to deny Farrell's pretrial release, he was identified by, quote, multiple witnesses as the person who stabbed his grandmother and cousin in the neck, causing severe lacerations, end quote. Farrell was apprehended and reportedly admitted to stabbing them with the intent to kill them. Both victims were stabbed in the neck, one being a juvenile under the age of 13. The non-juvenile victim was additionally stabbed in the face and shoulder, causing severe lacerations to the victim, end quote. Farrell's case was presented by the Bethalto Police Department, and court documents do indicate he was remanded to be held in jail until his initial appearance in court. Also in the news, Dalton Brown giving us a great preview of what's in store tonight for the Alton Committee of the Whole meeting. The committee meets tonight, and all meetings are streamed on RiverBender.com. Monday's agenda includes a laid-over resolution authorizing a loan agreement for the Solar for All projects at the Alton Public Works facility in the amount of $626,512. According to the resolution itself, the Alton City Council engaged GRP Wegman to pursue a state and federal grant and, quote, incentives for installation of the ground-mounted solar energy array at the city's public works facility, end quote. When and if awarded the grant, GRP Wegman will design, develop, and construct the solar array in accordance with the Illinois Solar for All program requirements. Committee members will also consider a resolution to apply for Park Commission funds from Madison County in the form of Park Enhancement Program known as PEP funds for projects. According to the resolution, the city plans to use the PEP funds to repay previous PEP loans and fund 2 park improvement projects, including a band shell pavilion at Killian Park and a new roof on the bathhouse at Gordon Moore Park. Exactly how much funding will be granted to the city is still unclear. If the funding needed to complete one of the projects is greater than the amount of the PEP funds granted, the city has agreed to fund the project's completion from another source. Another resolution would be the amending territory of the Riverbend Enterprise Zone. Would essentially add more property to the Riverbend Enterprise Zone, which was established in 2014. The Riverbend Enterprise Zone is part of a much larger enterprise zone, which includes Alton, Wood River, Bethalto, East Alton, Hartford, Roxana, and South Roxana. The enterprise zones are designated areas which aim to boost economic activity by offering businesses located in or expanding into the zones incentives such as tax breaks and more, according to the Illinois Department of Commerce. The committee's next agenda item also includes a resolution authorizing the City of Alton to enter into a ground lease agreement with Dish Wireless, LLC. According to the resolution, the city and Dish Wireless plan to enter an agreement for the operation and construction of a communication facility located at 2100 College Avenue in Alton. Other items on the agenda for Monday include authorizing the closure of State Street and West 3rd to facilitate the annual St. Patrick's Day pub crawl, a resolution reauthorizing a lease renewal agreement between the City of Alton, Illinois, and Nickel Shooters, Inc., doing business as the Firehouse, a resolution to consider an ordinance vacating a portion of an unnamed alley off of Liberty Street, a resolution approving the request to sell and or serve alcohol at the Ladies' Ancient Order of Hibernians charitable fundraiser. Excuse me if I pronounced that wrong. A resolution authorizing the adoption of the annual appropriation ordinance of the fiscal year beginning April 1, ending March 31st, 2025. A resolution to commence the demolition proceedings concerning 1326 Garden Street, and another resolution to commence the demolition proceedings concerning 1931 Central Avenue. Another resolution, be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Alton that the mayor and appropriate city officials hereby authorize directed to execute any necessary documents to officiate the sale of 2807 North Street. There will be a bid on abatement of 208 Searing Avenue and one at 901 Gold Street. You can tune in live on RiverBender.com at 6 p.m., and you can follow the passage and discussion of these items with the article that Dalton Brown wrote. One final bit of news for you today, and that's out of Alton. Little Theater, the 91st season at Alton Little Theater officially launches on March 1st. But it's a sneak peek at plans to sparkle with so many choices of true entertainment. Here's what we know. There will be a few familiar beloved plays and stories of inspiration that also tickle the funny bone. And given the national divides and polarization, Alton Little Theater restates its mission to create a safe space where people can just cast aside the worries of the world for a few hours and enjoy themselves. Kevin Frakes and Lee Cox focus on giving patrons enjoyment and producing works that mean so much to them, and introducing some new directors to Alton Little Theater's lineup. For the 91st season, this means 5 main stage productions and additional 5 extra entertainment shows, so that theater lovers have a choice and something to see almost every month. And who knows, Alton Little Theater might just add another show or concert, and likely will, as the 91st season officially starts on June the 1st and runs through May 31st, 2024. But early bird purchasers gain additional savings to the already low price of quality entertainment. And in addition, Alton Little Theater will be running a youth theater camp for 2 weeks in July, offering some new options to senior and travel tours, local high schools, and even more outreach programs that serve the entire Riverbend region. Alton Little Theater loves the acknowledgement of the best live theater as well. The main stage shows include Making God Laugh, a September comedy, A Christmas Carol, The X's, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, The Women of a Certain Age, and the extra entertainment series with a Disney tribute in June, along with special performances of Rocky Horror in October, The Best of the Best Broadway in November, the studio series with 2 plays, Front Porch and Widow Lincoln's Haunting in February 2025, and more to be developed. For more information, altonlittletheater.org. Let's take a look at weather. 60 degrees, it feels like 65. We are getting to 80 today, folks, but let's take a look at the extended forecast. Today, temperatures reach 78 degrees and drop down to 53 overnight. On Tuesday, a 70% chance of thunderstorms. Temperatures will reach 82 degrees and drop down to 23 degrees overnight Tuesday as we head into Wednesday. So be careful when you're out having fun on Tuesday, that temperatures are not going to stay that way all day long. On Wednesday, a high of 37, a low of 21 degrees. On Thursday, a high of 48, a low of 35. And then on Friday, a high of 54, a low of 40. Let's take a look at Skycam and see downtown Alton. Some cars coming in and out. You see the Alton Riverfront and the Clark Bridge shining up and having that the sun reflected down onto the Mississippi River is always a great look. Some cars coming in and out today and enjoying the great weather in the 618. You can see the Skycam in real time all the time on RiverBender.com/weather. And for time and temperature throughout the day, you give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. Before I do take a quick pause, let's talk a little serious here. Are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? A life free from addiction is possible, and it starts at Centerstone. Centerstone, if you don't know, is a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages, with a commitment to delivering care that changes people's lives, truly changes people's lives. Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment program. Now, this means the recovery care plan developed for you is based on the latest science. With so many unknowns on the road to recovery, one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be a constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey, not with you, for you. Addiction can happen to anyone. So can recovery. Start working toward your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org, or by calling 1-877-HOPE-123 or recoverwithus.org. Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trunked. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
DJ Mike Keith.
This is where I am today. Let me show you where I started.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
They are lonely and feeling blue. These arms of mine, they are yearning.
10:18. My arms are yearning for Cardinals baseball, and I know that Luis's are too. How are we doing? I haven't talked to you in like 2 weeks.
I have been MIA for 2 weeks here in the show.
I know. I keep telling you, man. Hold on here. I'm telling you, man, it's something else. It was kind of weird. You know, I knew that I was missing out on my Luis time, you know? Right. Hey, Luis, hold on here. We're having a little bit of a technical issue. We're having a little. No one can hear you right now. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Give me a couple of seconds here. Why don't we do this real quick? Let me take a quick pause. We'll just do this. We'll take a quick pause. Let me try one more time. Can you hear me now, Luis? No. 10:19. We'll come back and we'll talk to Luis right after this.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Is it time to buy, sell, or even time to consider a short sale of your property? Meet Lisa Webb, owner of 3rd Street Realty. This local, women-owned, family-operated realty group has over a decade of experience in foreclosures, first-time home buying, and so much more. 3rd Street Realty prides themselves on holding your hand through the entire process. Let their expertise guide you to your dream home. Visit 3rdstrealty.com and start your journey with Lisa Webb today.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
That should have done it. Let's see. Luis, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, so you
there
can
we
hear me.
Go. That's perfect. Meatloaf, Luis, our phone blind's working again. I haven't talked to you in so long. We haven't talked since before the Super Bowl.
That's true. Yeah, we missed a Super Bowl recap. We have missed a lot of recaps. Here's the thing. The last time we talked, the Blues were in the wild card, and now they're 4 points off.
Is it that bad? I haven't watched.
It's been that bad. Again, on Saturday they got walloped by the Flyers in Detroit 6-1, and there was a no contest like that right there. It's like 4 minutes in the game, it was already 4-0. Like Flyers scored 30 seconds after the game started. So it's been one of those games, and Kyrou got benched basically.
Well, and is it the schedule or is it the way they're playing?
It's their way they're playing, right?
Okay. That's what I was
because they're
wondering.
playing good teams and also, but they beat good teams. Again, their thing is losing against bad teams.
Right.
But it's the way they're playing, and their high is very high, their low is very low.
100%. And so going forward, what's their schedule look like the rest of the week?
Again, they're in a road trip, so again, they're on the road, and they play next up. They play on Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. Let me go to today here quickly. Yeah, they play on Tuesday against the Winnipeg Jets, and it's gonna be after that Jets, and then the Oilers on Wednesday, and they're back home on Saturday against the Wild. But then they're going back on the road for Flyers, Islanders, Devils, Rangers, Bruins, and they're not back home again until the 13th. So they play 2 home games in the next 2 weeks.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm more excited about spring training games getting underway. I saw, and this won't ever hold, okay? I just want to say, for the first 2 days of spring training, I cannot be critical of Matt Carpenter. What is it, like a 3.000 OPS?
It helps that he got hit his first at bat.
It does help. It does help, but I mean, it's still there. It's still a quality stat for this guy that's only going to last another couple of days.
But also, again, it might last today. They played today at noon, so again, it might last up until we hang up, right?
Right.
So, but again, Carpenter, again, and we have talked this before. If they just said, "Hey, we're gonna give Carpenter a one more contract, it's gonna be the minimum, and it's gonna be his first World Tour," you know what? Perfect. We can all live with that. The narrative that was set was the one that's questionable.
Yeah. Well, and my thing is too. I mean, is he even worth a farewell tour? I mean, we're talking David Ortiz has a farewell tour, Miguel Cabrera. I don't think he could, to throw Matt Carpenter in like this whole let's have a one last hurrah. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
In a other franchise, I agree with you. But this franchise is like, oh, and here up to bat, Judd Jerkel. Let's stop the game for a standing ovation.
That's true.
Not anything saying bad, Judd Jerkel. Fine human being, fine player whenever he was here. But does he really warrant a standing ovation?
You're right. That's a good point. And that's a great point I've never even thought of, because we do that all the time. Didn't we do it with Lowry too? When he came back.
I think they have done it with everybody, if you play for the Cardinals for more than a cup of tea, there we go.
There you go. Well, they're starting off. Have you had a gauge on him yet? Because just seeing some of the guys playing, or any thoughts so far?
The first game was just so weird because that first game had everything, and it had a 5-4-3 put out from the Marlins, right? There's one, and wait, there's nobody on second. So, again, weird. Again, yesterday the start of the game was Mason Wynn actually 3 for 3, one double, 2 singles, and a lot of good plays in shortstop. So that's good that he started his spring training that way. Hopefully that momentum rolls in for the other games that he plays, right? And then today they play against shocker. They're going to play a lot against the Marlins, and so again, and today you're starting pitcher for the Cardinals is a guy named they say obesity. No, wait. Yeah, Robertsy. I haven't heard of that guy. He wasn't on spring on winter warm up. So
but I love it. I love spring training because I wish they'd have a statistic of whether it's the Cardinals, whether it's the Yankees, whether it's, you name it, any baseball team, a statistic that shows the amount of players that got the spring training jersey to the amount that ever made it to the major leagues. You know what I'm saying? Into the actual regular season. I want to know what that conversion would be, just because of there's some guy, and I'm sure he's good. It's something I've always thought about.
Oh, yeah, he's good enough to get the spring training invitee. Don't get me wrong, right? Mm-hmm. You get invited to the spring training, you at least have some skills. Now, then you can be like a Tim Tebow kind of person or whatever. That's more a publicity stunt. But for most of the guys, I bet you this, or that Rorbisi guy can strike me out and strike you out in a heartbeat too.
Without a doubt. Well, my question is, who does the schedule for spring training? I mean, I'm fine with, it's spring training and I can't complain, but I feel like we're playing the Nationals like 400 times in spring training.
Well, it helps that the Nationals are in West Palm Beach, too. It helps that the Astros are in West Palm Beach. It helps that the Marlins and the Cardinals share a facility.
Right. But are there no other teams down there?
Mets are in Port St. Lucie. I know the Braves are either in Disneyland or near Orlando. They go like to Tampa, where the Yankees are, the Red Sox are in.
Okay.
Again, they're already spread around, and then obviously this year they're very quirky in the thing. They're gonna break camp and then go to Arizona to play 3 against the Cubs, and they're right there in their complex in Arizona before going to LA for opening day.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So, Normally they do like a Memphis against the Cardinals against the Memphis Redbirds, but no, we have to play the Cubs in Arizona before getting the introduction to Shohei in a Dodger uniform.
Right. And hey, another thing, has there been any Molina rumblings? Has he had the opportunity yet to go meet with the team? How is that looking in his role?
He's still this is so again, the last time we talked, it was funny that it was people getting mad at a part-time employee setting his schedule.
Yeah.
And most said whenever we talk, it was 2 weeks. So the 2 weeks is this week.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say somewhere between today. I know this. It's not gonna be today. He's still in Puerto Rico, but somewhere in the next 10 days.
Well, that'll be.
I'm giving Molina the weekend basically.
Right. Well, another thing too, as we keep creeping up, because I got to keep moving too, is the fact that St. Louis City started playing, and I was talking to my dad about this, and he made a great point. That I didn't see the Real Salt Lake game, but the one against the Dynamo, they actually started to play combination soccer and play the way that normally a professional team would play. It wasn't, just go to the wall, gas pedal, and floor it. It was, actually thought out. It was, it didn't work all the time. There was a lot of passes cut out, a lot of turnovers, but it was still the process of it starting. And I agree with him. I think it's a great point. Now, I didn't watch the Real Salt Lake game. This doesn't look too hot, but take me through this one.
It's a game they should have lost. They lost. They were again, and they were trying. Also, they were like Klaus only played 60-something minutes because again they're worried about playing 4 games in 12 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, that's a real worry in the world of soccer. But again, it's Real Salt Lake brought the pressure in the first half, and also. St. Louis City wasn't great in their passing accuracy yesterday, and also they had problems with the ball handling, a lot of turnovers too. But Big Sam at their end just got into the game with a lot of energy and got that beautiful ball, and just did the rest, right? So, and then he scores, and then 1-1, and then that's the tie. They had a couple more chances to score after that, but again, Real Salt Lake players, not the goalie, players, did a good job, and then City did a good job too defending their own goal after that. So again, 1-1 tie. They got the point. Points are always good. Again, and you're not losing games. Again, it's like, oh, you lost a game, you're 1 game behind. No. If you can get a chance of getting 1 point or 0 points, everybody will say, "I want that point."
Right. No kidding. And it'll
because
add up.
That might be the difference between seeding, right? And yeah, it will. That will be the difference between seeding. And one of the things going into this season that they have learned from last season, instead of going hard every game like they did last year, they have to pace themselves, right? So that's a good sign that you saw that in the Houston Dynamo game, because here's the thing, they really wanted to win one of those trophies that are in the in-season tournaments too, just because it's important, right? It shows we accomplished something.
Right.
100%. So last year they won the Western Conference trophy, whatever, because of winning the division or winning the league, or winning the conference. But again, they didn't have nothing to show it because again it was they folded like a cheap tent against Real's Kansas City. So
100%, Luis. All right, man, I got to keep moving because we got to talk to Hayner Library here in about 2 minutes. But I do appreciate your time, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you this week.
Yeah, let's talk a little more this weekend. Again, a lot of sports going on right now, so that's good.
We're getting there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Luis, enjoy your day.
You too, CJ.
We'll take a quick pause and come back with more of our daily show right after this on RiverBender.com.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey, Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team.
We've got Joey.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior, gear up with Falcommit and elevate your hunting experience. From rugged gear for the seasoned hunter to adorable outfits for the little ones, we've got your whole family covered. Literally, because the best moments are made in the great outdoors. And with Falcommit, you're not just wearing gear, you're wearing the stories of your adventures. Discover the joy of hunting together. Visit falcommit.com and outfit your family for the next generations of memories.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. When life throws unexpected challenges your way, you need a versatile legal ally to protect you. Sean Lentz, with over 12 years of experience, is here to help you in a variety of avenues. From personal injury to criminal defense and even semi-truck accidents, Sean Lentz has your back. Don't wait for the justice that you deserve. Call 618-465-8000 and see how Sean can help you today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 1037. Mary Cordes is the executive director of Hayner Library. We added a new lower third. We can get more on there now. You know, look at
very
that.
nice.
We're getting there. How's everything going at the library this Monday morning?
It's going all right.
So let's get the big news out of the way here. The Friends building is completely closed for a while.
It is. It's going to be temporarily closed. We actually had a structural engineer come in and take a look, just to kind of do a once-over of the building. I don't know the last time it had been done, and we were talking about maybe doing a few little cosmetic, or not little, but doing some cosmetic improvements. And before we did that, we wanted to make sure everything was okay. And we found an issue with one of the rafter beams in the ceiling. And so just out of an abundance of caution, the building is closed while we have an engineer figure out a solution for it and then have it built out. So just in case anybody's wondering what's going on, the Friends are going to have their book sales as soon as we can get it remedied. It was an unexpected closure. And so for right now, we're temporarily not taking donations because we don't have anywhere to put them.
Right.
And the Friends are not having their book sales because we just want to be safe and not have anybody in the building while we get that repair taken care of.
Absolutely. And I'm sure the public appreciates that and the transparency.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You want to be transparent. You know, you don't want to just say like, oh, everything's fine. And it is fine. It's just, it's one of the things we have to take care of.
Just a chance, you know?
Yep, exactly.
And so keep up to date on website and Facebook as we're waiting for that update.
Yep, we'll have an announcement when it's ready to go and ready to be open. We're hoping, we're trying as fast as we can to get it taken care of, but some of these things take time. So so we'll get there.
Well, exactly. Slow and steady gets the job done.
Yeah, and in the meantime, the Friends do have a couple of book carts at the mall library that our books are for sale. They're $2 for books. So anytime you walk in, there's always a couple of carts right there in the front area by the circulation desk, and the Friends still are maintaining that. So they're going to be bringing materials and putting them on the carts, and they're for sale. So you can still find some stuff that's for sale: kids' books, adults' materials, teens, that kind of thing. So there is still a small sale going on at the mall anytime the mall library is open.
Well, and honestly, that's wonderful to know about too.
Yeah.
You know what I was seeing the other day, and I'm not saying this is what you do with those books, I have been seeing people that are using older books that maybe have some pages out of them, and they're making like wall murals out of them. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, we had for a long time, there was a rush on encyclopedias. So we were we were selling encyclopedias, and people were using them for because they were old. I mean, they were outdated information.
Right.
But they were using them for, wedding reception, like decorations or decorations at their house, or they were taking pages out of them and creating art with them. So it was kind of fun to see them being reused, because really the information's old and there's, newer information out there, so it was kind of a nice way to repurpose that book.
You know what I think that's cool is coming up with old information, new information, and just a great author is Ed Wheatley. After the initial appearance was a little bit postponed, and rightfully so.
It was, yes. We had, that was, I swear, it feels like the weather. This winter, we haven't had a bad winter, but when we have, it's been the day before a library program or the day of a library program.
This has not been the winter for events.
No, it has not been. It has not been. So Ed Wheatley he has written a book. He's written several books. He's an award-winning author. He's written all of his books focus on sports in St. Louis, and so he is a fountain of knowledge. So he's going to be coming to the library. We've rescheduled it. He's coming Wednesday, April 3rd at 6:30 p.m. to the Mall Library downstairs. And so we're calling it St. Louis, the best sports town in America, an evening with Ed Wheatley. And he's going to be taking all of the knowledge that he's gained in being a sports historian. He's also a film producer. He's made several Emmy Award-winning documentaries and he's a best-selling author too, and he's won several awards, a lot of them from the Baseball Hall of Fame, so he knows of what he speaks.
Yes, he does.
So he's going to be coming and talking about why he thinks St. Louis is the contender for the best sports city in America. And so he'll be talking at 6:30 on Wednesday, April 3rd at the Mall Library.
And I'm going to try to get him on before that. Do like a preview? Because Ed's been on before, and I'm telling you, if you guys haven't gone to one, it is really worth it.
Yeah.
Because he has a lot of information that it's hard to find on the internet. Really.
It is, and he's not going to just be, what I think is going to be interesting is he's not going to talk he will talk about the big major sports, baseball, football, basketball, but he talks about chess. He talks about tennis.
Yes.
And he has a lot of really interesting trivia and knowledge that a lot of people don't know about. We were talking on the phone, and he was telling me some of the things that he might be talking about, things I had no idea about.
No one realizes, Mary. I think that's the first time I've ever gotten excited for chess in my life.
Yeah.
But chess is actually one of the biggest. St. Louis is one of the biggest hot spots around in the world for chess.
Yeah. Well, the Chess Hall of Fame is here, which I knew, but there was some of like I said, some of the trivia and minutia of that I had no clue about.
The St. Louis Browns trivia that Ed has too, which is what I think is really fascinating, because talking about sports marketing back in the day with the whole new craze of it now, that was pretty fascinating.
And he has written books. He's written the St. Louis Browns, The Story of a Beloved Team. He wrote St. Louis Little Leagues to Major Leagues. He wrote a book about wrestling at the Chase.
So the book of Wrestling at Chase is wonderful. The documentary he did on PBS is just to die for. It is just amazing work.
Yeah, and this is free. So we just ask you to call and register for that program.
What's the registration number?
It's 1-800-613-3163. Or you can just call the library. We'll transfer you to that, to that extension. But it's 1-800-613-3163.
That was more of a question for me, because I always read it and I go, do I read the 800 number or do I give the library?
We prefer the 800 number because because that'll also tell people if there's a wait list or if anything, it gives them all that information. So
that's a great streamlined process.
Yeah, we're excited about that. So
and I think really to have all that stuff, Mary, especially too. With Ed Wheatley coming, we always forget that St. Louis is 10 minutes down the road.
It's not far.
And, we all have some type of connection there in some way, especially sports. But, whenever you have someone like that, I'm sure this would be a really well-attended event.
I hope so. And we've got room for plenty of people, so we hope we, fill it up.
That's a good spot that you're down there.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's coming up is I wanted to talk more about the teen supports projects that you have on your script there. I was looking down. I normally can read upside down, but my sinuses are kind of... Mary and I are literally on the same page every time we're in the studio together.
I know. I told CJ this morning, I was like, I have a headache. I'm going to try and be as cheerful as possible, but
the Teen Crime Stoppers is what I'm meaning, Mary, because what I think's cool, I'm big on critical thinking, because I just think no one can do that anymore. If you watch the national news, critical thinking thinking's gone. It's just like it's all headline thoughts, you know. And to have this is to really instill that component into the team and realize it's okay to have a different idea than everybody else in the room.
Exactly, and that's what we think is interesting. And not only is it, I mean, it's fun, but it's what you're talking about. There's a point, but behind every program that we have, there's a point. There's an educational or an informational component to it, but you also, especially when you're dealing with teens, you want it to be fun.
Yeah.
And so there is critical thinking and talking back and forth and that interpersonal communication. You know, nothing takes place on the phone. Nothing's electronic. This is all teens in a room, hanging out, having a good time, and using their critical thinking skills. But it's true crime, murder mystery type thing where we ask them to put on their detective hat and solve a mystery. And so we give them all the clues, all of the information, and they have to work together to solve whatever the crime is. And they compete against other teams. So there's sort of that competition factor. It's a lot of fun.
How did their sewing project go?
It went really, really well. We had a good turnout, and we're just so grateful to everybody. We had so many people call and say, oh, you know, hey, I would be interested in helping with that, or hey, I know how to sew. Just let me know when it's going to happen.
Well, they took the headline spot on the event article. That was help the teenagers sew, because I love what you're doing with this, because I think and this is just me as the outsider. I'm not an in-depth enthusiast, but you have to connect with that population. Yeah. And you have to connect with the kids, but especially that preteen to teenager level, to really show what institution awaits them at the library. Mm-hmm. Because you don't have to worry about playing 7 Chances of Hell going on your Google research paper, Right. And you can have all these things that are at the library that are so important. Yep. And teach you the proper information that's not,
Yes, that's been vetted and edited, and you can rely on it.
Not Wikipedia. Yeah. I told you the Wikipedia test where I had to take a test and the teacher got all the answers off of Wikipedia. No. And I swear, every one of them that I'll be honest with you, I fibbed a little bit on this quiz, because I've always been the person that if I think something's a little silly, I'm going to do it my way and get it done. Yeah. Well, I got 100% on my test because I utilized Wikipedia at that moment. They utilized Wikipedia a day ago and they failed. It's a true story that happened. I've never had that. But
oh my gosh.
It's just, that's what's important. And to get these programs going in these projects for community, I mean, you can ask for more.
Yeah, and one of the things that we have a teen advisory board. Oh, and I should mention the Crime Stoppers is March 6th at 4. Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
That's my
fault. It's
at
March 6th at 4 p.m. at the mall. So
March 6th
head out March 6th, 4 p.m. for teens, for Teen Crime Stoppers. But
register ahead of time?
No, you can just show up.
Good.
So we one of the things that we have is a teen advisory board, and it's one of those things where, because we know how important it is to have teens in the library and let them see what we have on offer, but we still want them to have some ownership of the programs and services that we provide to them, because who knows teens better than teens? And so, because it's been a while since I've been a teenager, and things have changed. And so we have this teen advisory board, and it meets on Wednesdays once a month at 4 o'clock. The next one will be March 13th. But we just ask them, what do you want to see? What do you want to do at the library? What kind of programs do you want to have? They're the ones that came up with the sewing project.
That's so cool.
It was really great to let them have some buy-in of what they want to see at the library. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, Mary, what else is coming down the
one
pipeline?
Of the things that I wanted to talk about was the unfiltered lens. This is something that we had.
This is doing well.
Yeah, it's something that we had last year at Lewis and Clark. It's a photo exhibit of the photography of Robert J. Ellison, who had photography of the Vietnam War and the Civil Rights era. And it was at Lewis and Clark. The photo exhibit was at Lewis and Clark in partnership with them. And it was such a tremendous success that Jacoby Art Center, we worked with them, and we're bringing it to Jacoby Art Center. And it's going to be, the exhibition actually started on Saturday, on this February 17th. We had an opening for it. And it's going to run through March 27th. And so people can go to Jacoby Art Center. They can see the photography. There's 100 photos that Robert Ellison took. He was a photographer for Newsweek and Time Magazine.
Yeah.
And he has some incredibly compelling pictures of the war in Vietnam and also civil rights marches and in the South. And so we're asking everybody, to come out and take a look at the photography, because it's such an important topic, and the photography is incredible.
Well, and the story of Robert J. Ellison, too, is pretty remarkable, just his personal story.
His family was instrumental in founding Western Military Academy. His great-grandfather founded it. and his family members had graduated from there. He himself graduated from there. His father was killed at Luzon in the Philippines during World War II, and Robert himself was 6 months old when his father was killed. And so because of that, he didn't have to serve in the military, but he decided to go onto the front lines as a photographer.
Right.
And he was actually himself killed in action. He was only 23 when he was killed. The plane that he was on was hit by enemy gunfire in Vietnam in March of '68. So.
Well, and also on top of all of this, I don't know, maybe I'm a week off, but I know that Rustin was being shown at the Alton movie theater as well. Is that still this week too?
I'm not sure. That was not a library event, but it was.
But it was a way to tie it in.
It was.
That's what I just thought was so cool, because this was a real immersive experience if you did it the right way and went and saw it or whatever, and went to go to the exhibition, because these shots, I seen a few of them at Lewis and Clark last year. They're out of your... And what amazes me is this is how young I am, I guess. I'm like thinking, okay, I take my phone out, I take a picture. In 1960, you just didn't take a camera out and take a picture.
Exactly, exactly. There was a process to it.
The mind that he had was brilliant to capture those images. I mean, it really was.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, and, I can read upside down sometimes.
Yes, you can.
And I do know that we have to talk about one of the biggest things that you guys have, which is Taps and Tomes, which is, to me, I can't get over the fact that this has just grown to be as big as it is.
It's big. And every month, every time we have it, I think, okay, we're going to have to split up into a couple of groups because we keep having more people coming. So we're calling it Taps and Tomes, and it takes place every other month at the Old Bakery Beer Company. And so it's a book club. And so we discuss a book. Like I said, every other month from 6 to, it's always the first Thursday of the month. And from 6 to 7, we have a sort of a social hour. People get together. Some people have dinner. Some people just show up early and talk with other book club members, usually talk about what they're reading, what books they like, authors. Oh, have you heard about this author? Have you heard about that author? And it's really interesting and fun to see people who didn't know each other to begin with, who have now become friends, and they'll come in and say, oh, I'm going to your such and such. Thanks for inviting me to this or that. So it's a great way to meet people, talk about books, and like I said, from 6 to 7 o'clock, there's a social hour, which is completely optional. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then from 7 to 8, we have a discussion about the selection for that month, and it happens every other month. And like I said, this one is in May or in March, and we meet March 7th. I think that's the first Thursday of the month. March 7th at Old Bakery Beer Company. We're reading Lessons in Chemistry. And then we'll meet again in May, and we're reading West with Giraffes.
Oh,
so that'll be our
that'd
May
fun.
selection. So,
time and time again, it's really great to know that there's a place for folks to go and meet new people and to converse that's not centered around just going to a bar.
Exactly.
And not being funny about it. But, I mean, I feel like that was needed for a long time. It's just to have those different ways to connect and meet new folks. And especially when there's some new, there's some transplants that are arriving in town, and all that.
It's really interesting you say that, because we do have several people who have just moved here, and I say just moved here, but recently moved here, and it was kind of a nice way for them to meet other people in the area.
It was.
And it does, like I said, it does take place at Old Bakery Beer Company, but obviously come out and have a beer if you want to, but they also serve other things. You don't have obviously you don't have to have anything to drink.
My parents do their non-alcoholic selection. They have a pretty good non-alcoholic selection.
They have great tea, herbal tea,
So, is that herbarium or
something like I love that. But it's just a great event.
Well, and that's what how did Great Gatsby go?
Went well. I did not get to go to that one. I know. I like the book, but I've never seen the movie.
So here's my problem. I love the book so much, but when I watched the movie, I liked the idea of it, but the picture I created in my mind was just not even close.
Yes, I know.
And I hate to say it, but if I have to tell Leonardo DiCaprio he's wrong, I will.
That was the thing. I was reading Lessons in Chemistry, and I know for our book club, and I know that there's a TV version on Apple TV, but I intentionally did not look up the cast because I had created this world of these people in my head, and I thought I don't want to be influenced by their casting decisions. So now that I've finished it, I need to go and take a look and see how it matched up. But
do you ever get angry
better.
after watching it?
100%.
Okay, because I do too.
100%. Like, why did you cast this person? They're nothing like the character of the book.
Mine was a series of unfortunate events. I thought those were just so. I love the way that Lemony Snicket wrote them, and I thought they were wonderful. And the thing on Netflix is okay,
right?
But it's not the book, and it's just so hard for me. And I get so mad because I've always wanted a nice movie, but you can't watch the movie if you. It's just a tough battle.
There's one book series that I love. It's the #1 Ladies Detective Agency, and they turned it into a TV show, and I thought, oh boy, they nailed it. It's
kidding.
one of the only times I've watched something and gone, huh, all right, you nailed it. You
were waiting to find something, that entire time you're watching.
Yeah, and it was great. I thought, you should cast everything.
So we have 6 minutes, and I wanted to leave a good chunk to talk about this, because in the world of the growing age of getting the word out and messaging and Facebook and social media and the website and all that, your email sign up is a really great way for folks to be connected and to get information that's truly pertinent to them.
It is. So we, for years, in fact, as long as I've been at the library, which has been a long time, we've always done a quarterly newsletter. And it comes in the mail to everyone. It's wonderful. And I love that we do it, and we'll always keep doing it because it's really great way. It goes out to every household in the district, so Alton, Godfrey, and Foster Township. So even if you don't use the library, you still quarterly get something that tells you what's going on in the library. But we've never done anything digitally. And so, it's 2024. At the time it was 2023.
Right.
We needed to do something. So we were working with RiverBender and came up with a weekly email that patrons can sign up, and it just pulls up all the events that are going on this coming week. On Monday mornings, you get it in your inbox first thing, and it tells you, don't forget, here's what's happening Monday, because we do something every day of the week.
There's so much going on.
Every day of the week, there's something going on at the library, and whether it's kids programming, a teen programming, or adult programming, or a service that we want to feature and highlight, there's always something happening, and it can get confusing. and we have it on our website on the events calendar, but there's still a lot going on. So this is a nice, easy way to see, okay, here's the week, and here's what's coming up, here's what time it happens, and here's where it's taking place. Because we have 3 locations too, so sometimes that's difficult to keep straight. So,
and now what's the way that folks can sign up for this?
So you can go to haynerlibrary.org, and all you have to do is just barely scroll down, and right across the entire screen it says sign up for our newsletter, our email newsletter. And so you just put your email address in, and that's it. That's all you have to do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Has it grown pretty well? Is it being used?
Yes. Yeah. And
That's
it's
wonderful.
funny because I'll be somewhere and someone will say, oh, I got that email, or oh, hey, I saw on RiverBender that you're doing such and such, or I heard you, or you went to this, and it's working out really well.
I'm just happy about it because whenever we met, Mary, you're, like I said, Hayner's one of the big reasons I started the show, because there's so much stuff in there that no one ever talks about because there's so much going on.
So
you're
much
always
going on.
moving.
I know. Well, when I come here, I'm just like, what am I going to talk about? And it's not that I don't have anything to talk about. It's that I have so much to talk about. I've got to pick out okay, what's happening this week, because I'm going to be back next week, and then I want to make sure I talk about that. So yeah.
Well, and what are we gearing up for? Because now we're in the weird part of the year, because it's turning over into spring. But with spring comes about a month left of school. And then you have summer and all.
And we have summer reading program starting. So we actually just this morning put in, this is the hot off the press. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but we just are
having... It even says classified up there.
Right, yeah. So we just finished up on Friday, and I this morning emailed our printer and said, do it, print it. So the next newsletter should actually be coming into people's mailboxes mid to late March, and that will cover everything we're doing in April, May, and June, and that includes the summer reading program. So in March, I'll definitely have a ton of new things to talk about, all the different programming. And honestly, our staff has knocked it out of the park for this spring. I mean, things that we've not done before. Summer reading program is unbelievable. We've got some great stuff going on. We've got great new programs coming on. The staff has, like I said, they've been killing it.
Well, you guys have just a great team.
Yeah.
And everyone wants to be
yes.
there. That's the fun part about it, and that's why I love working with you and talking with you, because everyone there is on the same page. Yep. Let's get this going. And with that being said, is there anything in the next couple of weeks we need to call to action again before I talk to you Monday? Is there anything pressing this week?
Nothing super pressing, just our continuing ongoing story times, things like that. The one thing I would really quickly like to say is if anybody has a community group or something that falls in our district, Alton, Godfrey, Foster Township, and you need us to come, if you're looking for a speaker, I am happy to come. I've already talked with the Rotary Club. I've talked with 2 or 3 other groups. Just give a presentation on everything that's available, and I can even tailor it to your group. And so we can, because we have something for everybody, so I can tailor it and focus it on what you need. And just a quick overview of what we do at the library.
One follow-up for me while I have you. memory. How did your memory cafe go?
Went well. In fact, we have another one coming up, and it's going to be in our next newsletter.
I know it'll be in that, but I wanted that because
really
that was wonderful.
Yeah, and we're going to be partnering with the Alzheimer's Association for the one coming up in the spring, and so it's a great way for families and caregivers and people who are suffering from dementia and memory loss to get together, meet with one another. Again, it's about building that community because we are a community resource. So
100%. And before I let you go, I got one last thing about this newsletter. You know how I feel about printed mail. I'm not a fan. I don't like mailers. I think those are just great to start fires with. That's fine. But one that I do look forward to is getting the Hayner one. And I don't know who does it, but it's the way it's packaged too. Like it just looks like it's something that says "Read me." And it makes me feel like an Altonian whenever I get, and I mean that because when it comes, it's like, oh, this is an acceptable form of mail.
Yeah, well, and it's because, we realize there's people that may not come into the library, and so it's like, how do you reach those people? How do you reach people that don't come in? And so we feel like it's really important because your tax dollars pay for the library. And so we think it's important that once a quarter you hear from us and we can say to you, here's how you can take advantage of the library. You're paying for it. Please come. Please use it. It's here for you. We try to have something for everybody, and that's our one shot once a quarter to send something to you so you can see your tax dollars in action. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, we got through it.
We did. Yes, we did.
Go get some Advil and enjoy the rest of your Monday. I'll see all of you tomorrow. Jam-packed show, and then this week's busy. I'm talking to Craig Hintrick, DC Glenn, Whoop, there it is, all that fun stuff. So hang out this week. On that note, have a great day and try your best to stay out of jail.